everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is Nayeema and welcome back to my channel. So if you missed my last two videos, you probably wouldn't know that I am uploading a video every single day leading up until Christmas. It is basically like the 12 days of Christmas. I started on the 14th and then I'm gonna end on the 25th, which is Christmas Day. I'm doing this with one of my best friends ever, Em from Em Reads Romance here on BookTube. I'll have her channel and her video for today linked down below. Yeah, I'm really having so much fun doing this. Let me know if you guys have been enjoying the videos that I've done so far. My last video was Toxic Romance Recs and the one before that was basically like a Christmas wish list video. Today's video is going to basically be unhauling or like clearing out my Goodreads want to read shelf. This video was actually created by Claire from the Bookish Potatoes either at the end of last year or in the beginning of this year, and I loved that video when I saw it. She basically went through her Goodreads want to read shelf and she started removing books that she didn't want to read anymore, and I thought that was perfect for me because I genuinely don't even know what I have in my want to read shelf. I think there's somewhere around like 400 to 500 books and it is just like a hot mess. Half of them I've never even heard of. Half of them I have no interest in reading anymore. I really want my want to read shelf to be books that I would pick up like at a drop of a hat anytime. And that's what we are going to do today. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I loved watching Claire's video. I thought it was so interesting, the type of books that she had in her want to read shelf, and hopefully you guys like mine as well. Again, Em is also doing this video, so make sure to check her video out and it'll be linked down below along with her channel. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So we are now on my want to read shelf and this is so many books I can't even fathom. This is 471 books that I for sure do not want to read. So what we're gonna do is organize it first by date that I've said that I wanted to read it. Let me tell you what are gonna be automatic like removal if I've never heard of the author, if I've never even seen this book before in my life other than to add it to my want to read list, just because I have too many books on my TBR to like, you know, I can't take chances. That's kind of like the mindset I'm going to have. So let's just get started. So number one, we have Inappropriate by Vi Keelan. I really don't read much Vi Keelan anymore. It does have a 4.16 rating, but unfortunately I just don't think this is really what I'm never gonna get around to reading this. Next, we have The Wrong/Right Man by Aurora Rose Reynolds. This is definitely getting removed because I've never heard of this author or this book. And it has a pretty high rating, but again, I just don't care. Ruthless Empire by Rena Kent. This is the next book in the Royal Elite series that I need to read, so that's staying. And I'm glad to see it has a very high rating. I have Royally Screwed here by Emma Chase. I really wanted to read Emma Chase in her like Royally series. That's not the case anymore. I could care less, honestly. Priorities change and this one just isn't a priority anymore, so it's getting removed. I do own an Emma Chase book though, and I'll probably still read that. I don't think it's in the Royally series. Then we have A Lesson in Thorns. This is one that I still really want to read by Sarah Simone. I added this to my TBR so long ago, but it just looks so appealing to me. The cover is gorgeous and I've heard pretty good things about it, but also I haven't heard the best things. So this is one of the books that I'm just gonna like have to see for myself and go on. Then we have Four Psychos by Christy Cunning. Kind of seems good. Let me read what it's about. Okay, this one actually seems pretty interesting. I'm not in the biggest reverse harem mood. So Jess from Piece of Books rated it 5 stars, and some other people that I'm following rated it pretty high. So, ooh, Heather, she rated it 5 stars also, and Melissa. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave this just because it does sound interesting. This one's basically about a ghost who's been haunting these 4 guys, and she really wants to become human girl, and she's trying to, once she becomes a real girl instead of an invisible ghost, she's gonna convince the 4 men that she's been haunting to pick her. I don't know. This one seems like I could really love it or really hate it. I haven't been loving reverse harem right now, so for now I'm just gonna leave it and we'll see. Thoroughly Whipped by Tilly Cole. I've only read one Tilly Cole, and that was the motorcycle club one, but I didn't love it, so I'm just gonna remove this. I don't really have much interest in that one. And then we have Pet by Isabella Starling. I did read an Isabella Starling before, did not enjoy it, and this one I just have no interest in reading. I have no idea what it's about. So the next one we have is Bound by the Past by Cora Riley. I can't remember the last Cora Riley book that I read in the Bound in the Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles series. I remember reading about Gianna. I remember reading about the youngest sister. I think her name was like Lily. I don't know, but I can't remember past that. So I'm just gonna leave this until I figure it out. Then we have Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan, and I do still really want to read that badly. So that one's staying. We have Cocksure by A. Webster. I just read like 4K Websters recently and I loved them so much, so I think I'm gonna leave this even though I don't really know what it's about. I'm for sure reading this. This sounds so good. This is about a son wanting to marry the perfect man, which happens to be his father's best friend. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but it does sound really good, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that one because I have been loving K. Webster recently. Next we have The Rake by 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓪, and I think I'm actually gonna remove this just because I hated, what was the last one? I have The Hunter and the Villain here because I really enjoyed those two books. But I did not like, I think it was The Monster. Yeah, I hated The Monster. I DNF'd that. That's probably one of the worst books I read all year, to be completely honest. So I'm just gonna remove this because I don't see myself reading and enjoying The Rake until she goes on like some type of author retreat, until she is just like completely comes back and changes up her style, because all that she's been writing is different fonts of vicious and I'm just kind of over it right now. So that one's getting removed. We have Sea of Ruin. I actually have this here. One of my lovely subscribers sent it to me and I'm so excited to read that, so that is staying. We have, why are there so many K. Websters on here? We have another K. Webster called Notice and I have no idea what this one's about. Okay, this is a stalker romance. Yep. K. Webster has quickly become one of my favorite authors. I haven't read that much of her, and Notice is a stalker romance, so that is for sure staying on this list. We have Malice, which is book number 2 in Angel View Academy. I read the first one. I didn't love it. That one was a bully romance, but I didn't love it, but I had fun with it, so I don't see myself picking up the second book anytime soon, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. We have Dirty English by 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓪. I've only read one 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓪's book before, and that was Dear Ava, and I really enjoyed that. That ended up being one of my favorite books of 2020. So I'm gonna read what Dear English is about and see if I even want to read it, honestly. This is a romance inspired by Pride and Prejudice, and I could be really into that, but unfortunately I just don't think it's going to be the one. If I do read another 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓪, it's probably going to be one of her sports romances. Next we have California Dreamin' by Saffron A. Kent. I've only read, I believe, 2 Saffron A. Kents, and I did enjoy them relatively, but I'm just not really in the mood to read any of her books right now. They're very lyrical and dreamy and Lana Del Rey-esque. I get vibes, that's the vibe I get from her. So I don't know, I'm just not really into that right now. Then we have Her Perfect by Stephanie Walls, and I have no idea. I've never heard of Steffi Walls before. Honestly, not very interested, to be completely honest. We have The Rules by Lauren H. May, and this is the second book in her Summer Night series. I read the first one last year and I kind of enjoyed it. I found the main character to be a little bit annoying, so I'm just gonna remove this. I don't see myself picking it up anytime soon. And then we have a plethora of Mariana Zapatas. We have Hands Down, Wait For It, and From Lukov with Love, and I want to read all 3 of those, so those are all staying. I want to read every single Mariana Zapata, so if any of these 3 sound like something that I would really enjoy, let me know. I basically just see Mariana Zapata's name and I run. I don't know really what they're about, but I have them here. Then we have Candy Steiner on the Rocks. I'm gonna remove this just because I think I've only read one Candy Steiner, and that was like one of her Greek series books, and it just I didn't love it, so I'm just removing that. And then another Candy Steiner that's going. This is Make Me Hate You. And then we have The House on the Cerulean Sea. I really want to read this one so badly, so that's staying. Then we have Hero by Lauren Rowe. This one's staying as well. I've heard amazing things about the Morgan Brothers series, so that's staying. They're all companion novels. They're all brothers, which I love, and I think I would really enjoy this one. We have Not My Romeo by 𝓿𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓪, and this is actually the one that I really want to read next by her, so that's staying. Don't know what it's about, but it's staying. We have Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I'm currently reading The Hardest Fall by Ella Mays, and I'm really enjoying that, so I think I'm gonna leave this one for here. I've been wanting to read this one for a while though. Outlander's on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that because I do own that physically, but I just know I will never read this book. My mom listened to the audiobook and she was like, we're like 300 pages in and the wedding is just happening, and I'm like, oh hell no, like I'm not reading this book. So we have The Forbidden Man by Karina Halley. I don't know, I know people love it, like Brie from In Love and Words loves this book, but I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll leave it because I do like Karina Halley, so maybe, I don't know. Then we have Crushed by Tracy Wolff. I read the first book in the Crave series, which is Crave, and I did actually really enjoy it, but I just have no interest in picking this one up. So then we have Guarding Temptation by Talia Hibbert. I also want to read every Talia Hibbert ever written because I love the Brown Sisters trilogy. So I'm leaving Guarding Temptation. We also have The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry. Again, I think I've read the first 2 books in the Element series, and I really enjoyed one and didn't like the other one, so I'm gonna leave The Silent Waters here. I know that Ava from Ava Loves Books loves this book, so I'm leaving it. We have From Twinkle with Love, and I own this one physically. Will I ever read this? It's like a YA cutesy contemporary, I don't know, but it's just gonna stay here because I have it physically. And then we have Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. I'm just not in the mood to read like a dystopian fantasy right now. So we also have The Devil's Crown Part 1 by Monica James. I haven't been into Monica James recently, so I'm just gonna remove this also. Sinister by KV Rose is actually out already, and this one, she ended up changing the novel to Omnius, so this book isn't even like a thing anymore, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. Archer's Voice, I do really want to read Archer's Voice very badly. This is by Mia Sheridan, and I hear amazing things about it, so I'm saving this one. Let's go to the next page. We are going to be here for, I'm gonna start like literally just going through them like very fast. Mexican Gothic, I do really want to read this. Little Women, I really want to read as well. My Dark Vanessa, want to read so badly. I have this one on my shelves, as well as Little Women. The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. I still have it here physically, and I just don't want to read it. I'm actually going to do an unhaul soon. Jasmine Guillory, I'm just not into her writing. I'm not the biggest fan of weddings and romance books, so this one's going for now. This Love Hurts by Willow Winters. I have yet to read a Willow Winters, and I want to really badly, so that one's just gonna stay. Big Little Lies, I own this one physically, but I have not been in a thriller mood in a long time, and I've seen the show, so I know the plot twist, so I'm just gonna remove this. The Highwayman by Kerrigan Byrne is a historical romance that I also own. I do really want to read this one. This one is a very popular historical romance, so whenever I get into the historical romance mood again, this one will be the first one I pick up. Emma by Jane Austen, I really want to read. One Hot Italian Summer, I'm saving for the summertime. When He Was Wicked is by Julia Quinn, is the 6th book in the Bridgerton series. I own that one physically, and I'm just gonna remove it. I don't see myself reading the Bridgerton series at all, so I can't wait to do a book unhaul and just get rid of all these books for the new year. I'm excited. We have Radiance by Grace Draven. This is kind of like a fantasy romance or a romantic fantasy, I don't know. And this one just sounds so amazing, so I'm gonna leave it. Wicked and the Wallflower by Sarah McLean. I own this one, and I do really want to read the Bare Knuckle Bastard series, so that one's staying. The Wild by Kay Webster. That one is for sure staying because, hello. First of all, I don't know anything about this book except for the fact that it's taboo. But the last 2 Kay Webster synopses I've read during this video, they've sounded amazing and everything that I love, so I will read this eventually. American Royals, I have no interest in reading anymore. The Beautiful by Renee Audier, I own this one and it sounds really good. I just need to be in the fantasy mood. Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, I own, so that's staying. A Rogue by Any Other Name, that's just gonna stay. A Sweet Mess by JC Lee. I don't see myself reading it. It does look really cute though. I know that's like a cute little romance. The next ones I think are just all historical romances, and I only have historical romances in my want to read shelf if I own it physically, so I'm just gonna leave those, even though I don't know when the next time I'm going to be into historical romance is going to be. Yeah, again, these are all historical romances I own, so we're just gonna swipe through all of these. Okay, Twilight, I own all of these and have yet to read them, so those are staying. Oh, the Black Dagger Brotherhood, I missed this series. So when I first started BookTube, I had read the first, I think 3 or so. I don't even know where they are on my shelves, but I loved it so much, and I wonder if I'm still gonna love it. So I have the next ones that I own. So I have the 5th, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th here. So that's just gonna stay because I own them physically, and I really want to pick up the series again because I was so into it. I have Intercepted by Alexa Martin. I own this one and really want to read it. More Than Words I also own by Mia Sheridan. Not That Kind of Guy I own. The Summer Deal I own by Jill Chavez, and I just know I'm never gonna read this, so I'm just gonna get rid of it because I already know myself. This looks like a bunch of books that I literally already own, and if I own the book, it's just gonna stay here until I unhaul it. So let me read the titles really fast. The Good Luck Charm by Helena Hunting, Thoughtful by S.E. Stevens, Stalk Her by Jenica Snow, which I really want to read. That seems like a stalker romance. The Host by Stephanie Meyer, The Kissing Booth. All these are books I own that I just have not read yet. Yeah, all these except for Gypsy King by Devney Perry. That's getting removed because I just don't really have interest in reading Devney Perry. Each time that I go to pick her up, I don't know, or just check up on her, like her Instagram, I don't know, I just get weird vibes from her for some reason, so that's leaving. I also have Birthday Shop by Rosie Adams, and I do really want to read this one. And then Pucked by Helena Hunting I actually don't own, and I do really want to read it. Whenever I'm in the sports, hockey, romance mood, this will be the one that I go to because this has been on my TBR for the longest time. So the next page, Boyfriend Material I own and really want to read. Lured by Rena Kent. I want to read like every Rena Kent ever written. The thing is, every time I go to check up on her, she has a new book out, like, and it's overwhelming me. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this until I figure out. I think some of the books that she's come out with recently are connected in some type of way, and I just need to like figure out where I am with her and like what books I need to read in what order, and then I'll add it to my TBR. So that one's just going to be removed for now. We have Burn by Suzanne Wright, and I think I got this recommendation from Heather from Here BookTube. So this one's a paranormal romance, and it apparently has the like trope of the hero who will literally destroy the world for you, and Izzy really liked it. Jen really liked it. Oh, Jen actually DNF'd it. This one I'm getting a lot of mixed reviews for, and I don't know, like I loved Suzanne Wright's werewolf series, so I'm just gonna remove it until I'm actually ready to explore Suzanne Wright's other. We have Such a Fun Age by Kylie, and I actually read like half of it, but then it was due at the library. I wasn't loving the first half that I was reading, to be completely honest. So I'm just gonna remove this, and then maybe I'll check it out from the library again. A Curse So Dark and Lonely is one that I own and really want to read. A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreed. I think I added this one because it is like a marriage in trouble book, but I just since then haven't heard much about it, so I'm gonna remove it. We have The Truth About Heartbreak by B. Celeste. I do really want to read that eventually. Him by L.L. Ash. Let's see what that one's about. Okay, so this one apparently is about a guy who has been in like a custody battle with his ex-wife, and his daughter finally comes to come live with him, but she comes with her best friend, and it's a romance between him and his daughter's best friend. And I don't know, I'm not getting the best vibes from this. Sometimes I could be all in for the taboo, but this one I'm feeling icky from it, so I'm just gonna remove that. Anti-Stepbrother by Tijan. I've been wanting to read more Tijan. I've only ever read one, which was, I forgot what it was called, but there's just again so many Tijans, and I feel like all of her series are interconnected, and until I sort out what I want to read and how it is in like a series, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove every Tijan I see. I really just want this list to be books that I genuinely want to read. Like I could pick it up right now and be happy, you know. Even When I'm Gone is Stay With Me book number 2. I read the first one and I did enjoy it, although I felt like it was a bit strange. I don't know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. Real Men Knit by Kwana Jackson. I've heard horrible things about this. I do have another Kwana Jackson that was sent to me by Read Forever Pub, and it's How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 10 Days. Or Kanu. I don't know. I still don't know how to say it. So I'm just gonna leave it and see. I Hate You by 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪. This is one of the sports romances that I was talking about that I really do want to read. I think my friend M read it, I believe. and it sounded good, so I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so I clearly have so many more books to go through. I have, like, it says 377 still on here, and so I will come back when I'm done and we can see what the final total is, because I feel at this point it's just like too much. I should have done a pre-round and then filmed this video. Okay, I'm back after 1 hour later, and I got my want to read list down to a whopping 282 books. Now, I feel like it should be a lot less, but I realized that every book that I own is in my want to read list that I haven't read, obviously. And so that's why it's so much. And once I do my unhaul, I'm gonna go back in here and remove all of them. But 282 books, and I think we started at like 470 something. So I mean, I'm not mad at it. I really didn't get rid of that many. I'm excited to unhaul all the books I have no longer interest in reading. This took me so much longer than I expected it to. I genuinely thought this would be a fun, quick video, but oh my gosh, I've been sitting here for 2 hours now. So I really wanted to unhaul all of the books on my want to read list for the new year and like new beginnings and just like spring cleaning, but like winter cleaning for the new year. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment down below, and also subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. Also check out video down below. Also, I'm sure hers went way better than mine because I'm just a crazy person who has like nearly 500 books in their want to read list, and it's ridiculous. Check her out. I love her, and I know you guys will too. And tomorrow's video is going to be so exciting. I am so excited to film it tonight, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications, especially during this time, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you